Yeah, how's it going, guys? It's Richie and a Corn Caller here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It is Tuesday. Actually, is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday. Oh my gosh, dude. I've been shoveling snow like nonstop. I nearly lost track of what day it is. Hopefully, you guys are staying warm and cozy. We got some breaking news for you guys. Well, not really breaking news, but it's just a little patch for Wizard101. If I could say it's little, it is huge. A lot of stuff has been getting worked on. And we haven't really had a maintenance for Wizard101 in quite some time. So this is like the first one we've had in a very long time. So let's jump right into it. Now, first things first, Court wanted me to show this beforehand. It says, "Hi Raiders, I've made a change in 590.1 that I believe resolves this issue. If I'm right about the issue, it would almost never occur on our side. Because of that, I'm not going to say this is pending, but you guys should post a message here after the next maintenance. If you still run this raid, let me know what happens." Limbo says, "Hey." If you guys don't know, Limbo actually makes most of the raid guys. He says, "Hi Limbo, after almost 2 years." Has it actually almost been like 2 years? When was this first posted? Wait, when was this first posted? 2024? Oh my gosh. That is definitely a long time. Well, hopefully that gets resolved, or hopefully it is resolved. Oh my gosh. And if you guys don't know, the problem was in the Cabal's Revenge raid, apparently some of the outside spells would sometimes not even cast at the sigil once completed. That was apparently a bug. But according to Court, that should be hopefully resolved. Hopefully. If there's any more issues, make sure to put it in the Discord. 2 years? That's crazy. Now let's get into the juicier stuff, because I know most of y'all don't care about raids or care about advanced combat and all that stuff. We got the general stuff to talk about, which is actually also pretty interesting, because it looks like Wizard101 has actually kind of nerfed some of the fights in the game. So this is the January 28th, 2026 patch notes. They have a combat review and changes. So we reviewed several combats throughout mainline content in the Spiral that we deemed to be more difficult than expected for a solo player. These combats have been rebalanced to facilitate easier mainline progress for more players. Please leave your feedback in the changes in the standard PvE channel in our Discord. Because you guys know that people are still rocking like the OG Darkmoor gear and all that stuff, right? Like, not everybody has the best stats or even the best pets or even, you know, the right spells for their job. So definitely this was needed, especially in Novus. Unformed Beast, Unformed World, Arcanum Solo, they readjusted that one. Puzzle Piece Monster and Porto Nuevo also been adjusted. Tantrum, oh my gosh, I remember that solo boss. Also got readjusted. Those are some pretty tricky solo bosses. Or just solo instances in general. Waluwu, Zalaman, Kang, Guru, Shrine, Kingsland, Arcane Toad, okay. Arcane Toads, Bunny Up Ruins, Wallenberg, Territory, Rage, I remember that one. Desperation, yep, I remember that one. I think I did a YouTube video on most of these. Despair, Confusion, and Dream Freddy, yep, all these. Yeah, Waluwu also, I think it was Waluwu. That was the one that had the rage and desperation and all those things. Yeah, Waluwu especially. I saw so many like YouTube comments talking about, "Richard, I need help." Like, I'm like, I can't help you. You gotta do it by yourself. I'm sorry. Man, but it's good that they readjusted these, because I know a lot of people just are struggling with it. And Wizard101 is technically just one of those games where you don't necessarily want to struggle with it. And this could also be good news for, I think, console players as well. I don't know exactly if they would get this same exact patch at a later date. I would imagine so. But, you know, especially for casual players in general, it's just not fun to really, like, pull your hair out over this video game. It really isn't. And also for Selenopolis, the Prophet, All 4 bards in the main theater, Ra, Theater of War Grand Exposition, and also going back to this one, this zone now saves your progress if you log out during the quest, the final act, which is also pretty cool. Try it. The Moonseum Underground Market, pretty cool stuff. And that is basically most of the comments that have been like readjusted and stuff. So pretty cool stuff. Now we have some highlighted fixes. Meleager will now properly appear during Beastman Monster Mayhem events. Nice. Fixed client clash related to the Forest Elf pet. Nice. Fixed a camera log issue when skipping dialogue during the Blah Summon Cinematic. Thank goodness. Fixed an issue with a Shadow Weaver in the Chrysalis tutorial was sometimes not to be defeated. That is also a good thing to have. Really good. Fixed an issue where entrance exam would improperly respawn if wizards had shields or hots? Oh! I just thought that was like the in-game mechanic. So apparently, because if you did have a shield and you also removed his shields, then it wouldn't work or whatever. It was a whole thing. But that's really cool. So now you can use like Basilisk and be cool, you know? Pretty cool stuff. I'm actually glad they fixed that because that fight in particular was very like, it just seemed kind of weird, like nobody really knew like what to exactly do. I'm still not going to farm that dungeon anytime soon in general just because of the people that are speed hacking for it. But by the way, why are you guys speed hacking? Like, why should anyone speed hack that dungeon? What are you guys in a rush for? It's funny because the people that speed hack in that dungeon still can't even find out where the swords are. I think that's also hilarious too. So, like, get better, bro. Honestly, get better. Bro, I see you speed hacks just to do the dungeon. But yeah, I'm glad they fixed that for the entrance exam boss. That's really good. Fixed an issue where PvP had old damage and resist limits. Okay. Level scaling NPCs in Aquila and the arena now properly scale to level 180. Nice. Added the dark creature spells to Sophia Darkside. I have no idea what that means, but we'll have to check that out later. And then they also readjusted some spells in combat. We're not going to go too heavy into it. I think for the most part, I believe fire spells did get a little bit buffed. Actually, we'll just go into it. Why not? We're not doing anything today. Now, also, prior to the whole patch note things, they've also had some new data mine content that has been found. We will save that for a separate video, okay? Not in this video. Okay, we gotta talk about all these spells and combats and stuff like that. Adjusted Temporous Trebuchet, however you pronounce that. Path B. The previous, it was 890 fire damage by a 3 times 546 round fire dot of about 1620 total. Now it got buffed all the way to about 200 and 600 total, so 2,600 in total by a 4 times 650. Just the base fire damage has been nerfed, so pretty cool stuff. Living Elephant now properly applies dots to the target. Nice. Gravestorm tier B damage corrected. Banned writing the scales will cast from advanced. Okay, that's fine. Scarecrow at tier B now deals the correct damage when selecting 2 and 3 targets. Commander Octo and Loon Knight no longer improperly react to Pierce Charms. Nice, don't care. Already did all that stuff in challenge mode. Did all that. Blah, blah, blah. Hun Hao will no longer react to Otlok's Oni's Shadow. Okay. Oh, also, if Court is watching, I don't know if this is still a bug for Loon Knight, specifically in challenge mode, but if you use a Donate Shadow Pip spell, and I don't know if this is still like a thing, because this was back when Donate Shadow Pip was like really bad, like it took like 2 Shadow Pips, but if you used that spell in that challenge mode instance, specifically at the end of the battle when they all like transform, like they first start off as bugs or little lunar ticks, and then they like transform into the ducks. If you would have casted Donate Shadow for some reason it would just transform them back to lunatics. I don't know if that's still a bug. I don't think anybody really cares. I mean, but if if you want something to put on the portfolio, give yourself something to do, maybe check that out. I don't know. Maybe it still happens. I don't know. I haven't done selling oppas in like forever, dude. It's been a while, dude. All right, let's talk about adjusted the item card to the stabilized kit 10 to be a 2-pip balance of power instead of 4-pip. Okay. Adjusted the schools of General Lightbane's minions to match the school of each creature. Okay. Made adjustments to Graveholm Graveyard Polymorphs. Werewolf Immortal Flesh Spell now animates properly. Werewolf 4 of coins aura is percent damage instead of flat damage. Scalamari 4 of wands global limited to 3 rounds. Okay. Catch of the day, Path B hanging text now has proper school. Grim Redeemer, Path B hanging text. Catch of the day, Path C now awards blades even if the target is defeated. Joltergeist will now properly trigger supernova cheats. Nice. Sabotage item card now works against non-primary school enemies. Balance Feint now properly stacks with Strange Feint. Oh, really? That's awesome! Yeah! Woohoo! It only took him I think that was also one that took him a couple of years, but yeah! Alright, dude. That's awesome. I've been always wondering about that. I was like, why didn't a balance feint like stack with a regular feint? That's awesome. I think it was also mentioned that it won't stack, I guess, with a plus 75. I don't know how true that is, but that's awesome. Yes. We love that. We love stacking feints. Yes, we love that. All right. Fixed a dot sounds on Ancient Wyvern spell. Nice. Snowball Strike traps now have hanging text. Nice. King Artorias Ice Path B now visually applies damage enchants. Okay. Igor's, however you pronounce that, Burning Rampage's dot is no longer invisible. The Terror's Blades hanging text now show proper school. Okay. Fixed cheats in Killer Croc and Judge Veg that forced them to pass. Okay. Fixed an issue where Bundozer's damage attack did not show the wizard taking damage. Okay. I think that's also another old one, too. It's an old one. Alright, Miscellania Miscalamerus. Astrology is finally in Darkmoor. We'd love to see it. Fix an issue where some Darkmoor pins sold for 0 gold. Yeah, thank goodness, because, like, what am I selling it for if it's for 0 gold? You know what I'm saying? Fix an issue where some SSR's badge requirements did not match the location that the items dropped. What? Are we still messing around with the badges, dude? What? I don't even know what that means. What? Indolent Ghost now correctly joined the Darkmoor Fire spell quest the boss fight. Okay. Fixed missing sounds for Shadow Self Magician and the Bartleby mobs in Darkmoor. Fixed missing sounds in Secluded Cave. Updated the ending quest flow of the Great Escapery to better indicate the follow-up quest. Added weaving as an option for equipment sets and deck names. Oh, that's cool. We love that. Added missing arrow icons to Arc 4 world maps. Wizards now always go first against Beast with a Million Eyes in standard mode. Okay. Improved visibility of the Shadow Lens goals in the Darkmoor Death spell quest. Okay. Added quest helper to Weaving a Company quest. Okay. Fixed an issue where rapidly skipping dialogue would prevent Zanga Zebu from spawning. Okay. Babel Tower Guard Spear is no longer on the ground. Awesome. Fixed an issue preventing multiple players from interacting with the history of magic in Wizard City. Fixed Conatus Ice Physics. Okay. Fixed an issue where wizards would access cave painting or one quest too early. Fixed an issue where Dreadkeep in Zephyria incorrectly spawned bosses instead of mobs when 3+ wizards were present, corrected the voiceover dialogue to Ravenwood for death wizards. And that is all of your patch notes for January 28th. Pretty cool stuff. So, a lot of spell updates and fixes here and there. I'm not really seeing anything too major or too insane. But overall, pretty heavy stuff. A lot of stuff. So, that's good that they fixed, hopefully, most of these. And hopefully there's going to be no more issues, especially with badges. Hopefully there's no more issues with that. I think for the most part, Darkmoor as a world is pretty much complete. And yes, I did go to the crafter dude, Cesar. No, it's still relics, so, you know, do keep that in mind. I know that was a whole situation. I'm over it. The whole reagent situation with Iker, whatever it's called. I don't care about it anymore. But yes, it's still like 120 relics to craft like the hat boots or, you know, whatever you want. So have fun farming that. And it looks like they kind of made it a little bit easier, especially with the entrance exam boss. So now you can use some other shield counters that might also help you out as well. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I like it. I love it. Pretty cool stuff. And like I said, we'll save the data mine stuff for a separate video. I know how devs don't really like that, but yeah, I'm interested to see out some of the new content in Wiz. And yeah, I'm excited. I'll definitely check out Sophia Darkside. I don't know what they mean by the dark creature spells. I have no idea what that means. So yeah, we'll check that out. But yeah, until then, we'll talk to you guys later. Good patch notes. Huge shout out to Coy, everybody else, Joel, Artie, Ratbeard, everybody else. Who else? The artists, Mia, Jules, Falmega. Am I missing anybody? I probably am. I don't know every single person. Sam. I think there's somebody named Sam. Something like that. Yeah, I don't really keep up with most of the KI devs names. But that is awesome. Everybody worked hard on it. Great time to start the year. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, we'll talk to you guys later, and until then, peace out.